Welcome to this video clip on some of the results of the research project Light in Europe, Lifelong Learning, Innovation, Growth and Human Capital Tracks in Europe. I'm John Holford. I'm Professor of Adult Education at Nottingham University in England. I'm going to give you a very brief outline of some of our results from our research on how public policy affects lifelong learning in enterprises. Overall, we found that lifelong learning plays an important support function across a wide range of activities, and it can be strengthened in company working environments almost accidentally by policies targeting other issues than workplace training and development. Using a policy trail methodology, we looked at public policy support for workers' participation in lifelong learning in Denmark, Germany, Italy, Slovakia and Spain. What we found was a diverse array of government funding schemes and institutional mechanisms aimed at promoting training and skills development for employees in the private sector. In all the countries we looked at, except Slovakia, employees can directly benefit from state support through various forms of tax relief. These are intended to provide individuals with incentives to invest in continuing education and training. In addition, looking at Denmark, Italy and Spain, we found that collective agreements play a critical role in facilitating employees free of cost access to training opportunities, independently of the initiative and capacity of their employers to invest in lifelong learning. Collective agreements can be agreements between governments and social partners, such as employers, associations and trade unions, but often they're agreements between social partners themselves, that is between employers and trade unions. In all the 5 countries that we looked at, government programs and legislation aim to ensure the allocation of public funds to support company investment in lifelong learning for employees. Funds are mostly allocated indirectly via tax incentives, participation of governments in collective agreements, and specific regional programs focused on employment and industrial development. 13 of the 14 companies we studied were members of at least one association representing their interests as private enterprises or employers in the industry. This gave them good access to accurate information about how public funds work for them. On the other hand, companies don't seem to rely much, or really even to be very aware of, how far their own current staff development initiatives are subsidised. Perhaps as a result, companies seem uncertain about whether current public policy measures are effective in encouraging lifelong learning at work. We found that in knowledge-intensive and innovation-oriented working environments, in particular, publicly subsidised work-related training provision is often seen as not meeting the specific lifelong learning needs of staff. Experience of designing relevant lifelong learning opportunities for employees seems to be important in enabling companies to make good use of public policy provision, both in education and vocational training, but also in innovation and research and development. We also found that in some occupations, we saw this with architects and health and social care staff, professional regulation creates lifelong learning needs and has an important impact in ensuring companies implement training and staff development plans. So public policy plays an important function in encouraging lifelong learning in enterprises. You can find more information about this in our policy brief on how public policy shapes lifelong learning in enterprises. On our website, LLLight'inEurope.com,